Hi, I'm Bissonette. We're here at the Rotunda Gallery space in the Clark County Government Center. I hope you guys can all come out and see Teetering on the Brink. As a point of introduction, a way to sort of speak about this work is that it's been made in response to a piece that was actually exhibited in this space fairly recently that was damaged sort of in the process of the show as it sort of happened, and it sort of served, I think, as the inspiration for this kind of work. That piece in particular, the title of it was Thanks, and I thought of it initially as like a really, I don't know, it was sort of an interesting thing to make a sculpture that sort of thanked you for looking at it. And then when the piece got damaged, it sort of changed a lot about how I was sort of thinking about the reception of the work and, you know, how people sort of approach that piece in particular. There was a sort of a moment in that piece where the chair seemed to be substantial. It seemed as though, you know, from the outsider's point of view, that thing, you know, had a sort of a weight to it. And then obviously, were you to use this sort of as a functional object, it sort of crumbles underneath itself. It becomes really evident that what the thing is made out of is of absolute importance, that it's made out of this sort of raw styrofoam and a material that, you know, by its nature is extremely fragile, you know, but has the possibility of appearing as though it's solid. And so that actually sort of served as the starting point for the work that was in this show. Sort of this idea of the facade, or the idea of something that, for all intents and purposes, appears as though, you know, for instance, the step ladder, you know, it has an implied functionality. It's something that we could walk upon, that we can use for support. But that object in particular, were you to do anything with it, even move it for that matter, it would fall under its own weight.
I'm Catherine Borg. I'm the curator of Teetering on the Brink at the Clark County Government Center Rotunda Gallery. So the artists showing at Winchester or the Government Center are not getting an honorarium. They're paying all their materials, and costs and time are, you know, as part of their practice. I do think it's a great opportunity. This is a great public space to show your artwork in, but we're also very fortunate that we have a great, excellent pool of artists in Clark County to select from.
Yeah, that piece in particular, it sort of came about. One of the things that I really noticed about Las Vegas when I came here was the prevalence of these shopping carts, and how they sort of are everywhere, you know, all over the place. And where I'm living in particular, my studio is really close to the Strip, and I find this sort of interesting sort of dichotomy between the sort of glitz and glamour of that street in particular, and then the sort of mundane aspect of this particular object, and the relationship between the two. So, you know, I think in essence this piece was a way to sort of take these two realities and sort of smash them together, and to sort of see how they would function. And so the end result becomes what I sort of envision as a shopping cart full of so much glitter that it would fall under its own weight. And that's sort of where that came about. A lot of these materials that happen in the show, I sort of happened upon. A lot of them are in walks from my apartment to my studio, the things that I sort of pass by and find, and in a sense they become particularly tied to this place, to the city, or to sort of working and living in here. And in a way, it's sort of a means for me to take those things and sort of resuscitate them as art objects, and to sort of take them from being sort of discarded to, you know, to put them in a context to where we sort of understand them in a different way, or we, you know, we can sort of reimagine, you know, say the card or the sort of mirror that's in the other piece as, you know, being from a place and of a specific place. And so maybe because that is the case, they can sort of be about the area in which they come from, and sort of me holding on to them as sort of a relic of my experience in this city. Was sort of putting this together, and the things that I was thinking about in particular about this city and the way that I'm functioning within it as an artist or as you know, as a consumer, as a number of different things, has sort of led me on to think about where this work can move from this point, how I can sort of expand the parameters of what's being discussed in these objects.
It's here running through March 12th, Friday, March 12th. The exhibition is open Mondays through Fridays, 8 to 5 p.m. and on first Fridays, the hours are extended in the building till 10 p.m. Lights are on and you can come and see the artwork.